Hello everyone. I haven't made a long form video in a while, but I got a bunch of ideas, so you're going to see a lot more than just this one coming out in the next couple of weeks, months, days, I don't know how long. But like every roller coaster YouTuber, or at least most of them, I've decided to write down some of my 2025 predictions for the roller coaster season and the roller coaster industry. So, yeah, that's the video, and you get the concept, so let's just dive right into it. First of all, I'm going to make some predictions for how my coaster season is going to go. First up, I'm thinking I'm going to add 49 new credits between a bunch of different parks, and I'm going to get my coaster count up to a total of 64. I also think I'm going to visit 7 different parks, and those parks are going to be Little America, Mount Olympus in the Dells, Adventureland in Iowa, Lost Island, Six Flags Great America, Busch Gardens Tampa, and Hershey Park. I'm also making some predictions for my top 10 coasters at the end of the year, so here they are. At number 10 will be Skyrush at Hershey Park. At number 9 will be Demon at Great America, sticking in the top 10, but falling from the number 4 spot to the number 9 spot. At number 8, I'm predicting Monster at Adventureland. At number 7, the only new for 2025 coaster, Fire Runner at Lost Island. At number 6, staying in the great state of Iowa for the third time in a row, it's going to be Matugani at Lost Island. At number 5, I'm predicting Candemonium at Hershey Park. At number 4, falling from the number 2 spot, we have Raging Bull at Six Flags Great America. At number 3, the new for 2023 coaster, it's going to be Wildcats Revenge at Hershey Park as well. At number 2, I'm predicting it's not going to be my number 1 anymore. It's going to be Cheetah Hunt at Busch Gardens Tampa. And at number 1, the obvious pick, the one that you're watching right now, is going to be Iron Gwazi at Busch Gardens Tampa. Once again, not my current rankings, but just my predictions for what my rankings are going to be at the end of the coaster season. On to the actual coaster season predictions. First up, I think Rapterra at Kings Island will be the first coaster to open with the new season. I mean, it's already completely constructed. They got it done like November, I think, and it's well on track to open during their opening day. Now we're going to skip ahead a little bit, and we're going to move on to the Golden Ticket Awards. Many of you probably know what the Golden Ticket Awards are, but they're basically the Grammys of theme parks. It's the best of the best coasters get awarded here, and they have it every year. So the two big categories are Best Steel and Best Wooden Roller Coaster. For Best Wooden Roller Coaster, I think it's going to be Phoenix at Knoebels for like the 18,000th straight year, because, I mean, I heard just that's a really good coaster, and they like to give it to that one. Then I think Best Steel Coaster is still going to be Fury 325 at Carowinds, even though I think some coasters are moving up their rankings for the Golden Tickets really quickly, like Iron Gwazi and Velocicoaster, but it's at Carowinds this year, the award ceremony, so no way they lose it there. Best Park will still be Europa Park. Best family attraction still going to be Big Bear Mountain. Now for the best new coaster and best new attraction. I think Alpenfury at Canada's Wonderland is actually going to win best new coaster. It's a big launch coaster, and it looks like a great ride, honestly. And I think the Golden Ticket Awards are going to like it a lot, and they're going to give the best new coaster to that one. Now, best new attraction. This is going to be like a wild prediction, but I'm going to say Fire Runner at Lost Island. Okay, so an attraction is something that attracts you somewhere. And since this is a big new coaster to Lost Island, people are definitely going to be attracted to go to the park by the one coaster opening. Also, even though it's a clone, the other clone at Silverwood is not very accessible to many people. So they're more likely to go to Lost Island to ride it. It's just like how Airy Force 1 won it at Fun Spot, because Fun Spot's attendance definitely went up after opening the RMC. So yeah, that's my hot take. Now onto rides I think are potentially going to close. I mean, I hope none of these rides close, but this is just a prediction of mine. So my first prediction is that by the end of the year, Oakwood is going to be set to be completely demolished. The park just shut down, and I doubt that they're actually going to get open again, which is very sad, because Megaphobia looked like a great coaster. But hey, maybe they can somehow reopen this Welsh gem of a park. Next, off to California on the other side of the world, and I think Psycho Mouse is going to be closing at California's Great America. or at least be relocated. I mean, the park's shutting down, and they are probably going to get rid of some of the rides slowly, and I think this is like the most probable to go first because it's just a Wild Mouse coaster. Where will it go if it gets relocated? Hey, maybe Six Flags will hear our cries about Michigan's Adventure not getting anything for years, and they'll send it their way. But I don't know. They'll probably just demolish this one. Then, this is a hot take, and I don't know. I don't even really think it's going to actually happen. This is just something I randomly come up with, is Sprocket Rockets at Six Flags Great America. I mean, they're getting a revamped kids area, and, I mean, they might just build it on top of that old kids area, and they might just get rid of it. Where will this go? Who knows? I am probably somewhere that needs a kids coaster, like over Georgia maybe. But yeah, they probably just demolish it if it's Great America. You never know. Finally, let's move on to some new coasters that I'm predicting for 2026. First up, I think RMC is going to build a ground up iBox and a Wild Moose, or maybe instead of the ground up iBox, they're just going to put iBox on some other coaster. I mean, they're due for a big project soon, and they probably have one coming up in the works. And also, the Wild Moose they've been promoting for a while, and they might actually finally open one. Next two ones I think are kind of obvious. The second one not being as obvious. Six Flags Great America is probably getting a new family coaster with their new family area coming, but also Six Flags over Texas with their Giga Dive Coaster, because Six Flags announced their dive coaster, and I think they also filed permits for a 300-foot structure, which is likely to be the dive coaster, which would be really cool. Also, I think Silver Dollar City is going to get Vekoma Family Boomerang. They're due for a new coaster, and I think they've been working with Vekoma over at Hershon a lot, so I think that should be a nice little addition, potentially. Another Hershon park that I think might get a big new coaster is going to be Dollywood, and I think they're going to get a Vekoma New Age Flyer. Also, they've been working with Vekoma, and they're due for a big new coaster, and I think a Vekoma New Age Flyer would be a great coaster to get into the park. Okay, so now the bigger coasters. I think the first of its kind in the U.S. new coaster at Magic Mountain is going to be an SNS Free Spin. That's like probably the best thing they could probably put in that park. They kind of have everything, and it'd be a very unique thing, which would be really cool. And finally, I think that Six Flags Great Adventure is going to get the world's tallest Mach Extreme Spinner. I mean, it's a record-breaking launch coaster. You can't really do that with a normal sit-down launch coaster, so it has to be something big. I mean, hey, maybe they can go with a hyper-spinning coaster, which would be wild. Thank you all for watching. I know this video is a bit long, but I did have a lot of ideas to pour out. And if you want to subscribe, you can, but you don't really have to. But I'm also posting more long-form content and shorts a lot, so yeah, subscribe if you want to see all that. And yeah, first park date is in, I think, 17 days from the day I post it. I lied, it's in 16 days from March 11th.